Hello everyone, Aquano here, and today we're here for a video I've been meaning to do for a long time, but I've kind of been hesitating for like weeks, because every party member in this game is just so good. It's low-key like one of the hardest tier lists I've ever had to make, and now that I've finally like kind of finished the post game, I'm like, my characters are like level like 95 or something. Now that I've like took the time to try every single character, I think I might do this tier list justice. So welcome to the Ultimate Expedition 33 party member tier list. Let's get right into it. Okay, we will start with our protagonist, Gustave. And Gustave is honestly very, very good. And we're going to judge him only based on Act 1. For the other party members, I'm going to judge them on depending on the different acts. Like, oh, he's good for this act, this act, this act. But, you know, Gustave, we're going to judge him for only Act 1. And if you don't know why, click off this video. Because you should not be watching this these kind of videos if you don't know why. Spoiler alerts. So, yeah, spoiler alert for everyone who hasn't finished the game, or at least finished Act 2. So, Gustave is very good in terms of, he's a very good choice in terms of damage and supportive. The problem is, and that's the problem, because in Act 1, his supportive abilities fall short behind Lune and Sciel, and his DPS capabilities fall short behind Maelle. So he's kind of like the best at nothing. He's just a good all-rounder. And all-rounders don't tend to be top tier. Now, he is very, very good. He's also especially very good at breaking, which makes him very valuable. But a tier list is all about comparisons. So, like, just Gustave alone is very good, but since this is a comparison, this is a tier list, I'm gonna have to put him in C. I can't in like good faith put him lower than that, because he gives you a lot of things. Also, he's also like I'm only judging him based on the time after he gets Sciel, because before he gets Sciel, he's mandatory anyways, so it doesn't really like matter. But when you get Sciel, which one are you dropping? That's the question. Now, you're definitely not dropping Maelle. You're dropping one of the other three. But all choices are good, honestly. But in my opinion, I think you should drop either Sciel or Gustave, because Sciel is a lot more broken later in the game, and Gustave kind of falls short compared to the other two. So that's where I will put Gustave in C tier. Now, before we get to the next character, I also want to say that Gustave's like ability tree, as his skill tree, is also kind of limited for reasons. His character is kind of made for, he doesn't have as much potential as the others, because that's just how the game is. Now, let's get to our trustworthy Sciel. Sciel is pretty much the best support in the game, sometimes tied with Lune. Now, in Act 1, I would say that's where she is at her worst. It's very hard to find her better than the others in Act 1, but when you get her like later abilities, she not only does she have the potential of being a nuke herself, but the fact that she has the ability to delay the enemy turn and make other party members play immediately, that's just broken. Like, if you've played many turn-based RPGs like myself, you would know that turn manipulation is absolute godlike. Like, there's an argument to say that she's the best character in the game just because of that, because of turn manipulation. Even if you play her as a full support, she requires so little investment. Like, you could give her almost 0 Lumina points and just slap on her like cheater and like energizing turn, just to give her enough AP to do her stuff. That's all she needs to be like a god tier support. So just that alone deserves the S tier. She can delay the enemy turn, she can make it so another party member doubles damage, and she can make them play immediately. With cheater, which is, you have cheater on everyone in the late game, you can place twice in a row, right? The first turn, she can make it so the party member deals double damage the next time they act, and then on the second turn she makes them act immediately, which is a very broken combo. It's kind of expensive in terms of AP, so you need some like energy master plus energizing turn and some energizing start combo. But with enough AP, she is pretty much she's broken. I'll just leave it at that. Sciel is broken for many reasons. So let's get to the next party member. Now, let's talk about Lune. Lune and Sciel are very similar. They're often compared because they're both can be nukes and they can be extremely good supports. Now, Lune unfortunately does not have turn manipulation, but the reason why she's a very good support is because she can heal the entire party to full HP and give them 3 buffs in 1 turn with the right setup. Sciel cannot quite do that. She can heal them 45% HP and give them every buff in 1 turn. And by doing that, it costs more HP. It costs more AP. So not only can she not do that, but she also costs more AP than Lune. Lune's revitalization skills, costs 5 AP, and she heals 60%. With Healing Boon and all the other Pictos that give buffs on buffs and buffs on heals, she can heal a total of 105% HP while giving every single buff. If you go for a more tankier build, especially if you're playing on normal difficulty, you can go for very, very tanky builds. Make sure your characters never get 1-shot or 2-shot. In that case, the healer is very, very good. It makes you very unkillable. Also, her Mayhem is one of the easiest nukes to set up in the mid game, and Elemental Genesis is just broken and extremely easy to set up in the late game. You can really just play her full support with Elemental Genesis, and she can just support your party while from time to time just nuking the enemy. Like, it's just very, very good. She's a lot easier to play than Sciel, in my opinion. So that's why I will put her right with Sciel here in S tier. It's really hard for me to say which one comes above. If we're like talking about the post game, I think Sciel is slightly better. But for the rest of the game, I would say Lune is better in Act 1, Lune is better in Act 2, and in Act 3 they're similar. That's what I would say. So that's why I'm like, they're very close for me. I'm gonna put Lune slightly higher just because Act 1 and Act 2 are very long, and in my opinion, she's better than Sciel in Act 1 and 2. So that's what it is. Let's get to the next party member. Now let's talk about our trustworthy Monoco. Monoco is a very good party member. Now there are a couple good things about Monoco and a couple cons, and let's go through them quickly. So, Monoco can do almost everything. He can, and especially he can inflict every debuff, which no other party member can do. Because he can do everything, but technically you can only have 6 slots. So being able to do everything is not as good since you can't do everything in any battle. Now, investing in him is very good because you can basically like model him. You can change him for every single. You can have different builds for every single boss. So that's why it's very good. Now, like I said earlier, he specializes in debuffs. I think debuffs are one of the things he does better than everyone. He can put defenseless, slow, and defenseless, powerless, and slow very, very efficiently. Slow for 3 turns is very valuable. That lasts longer than Lune's Ice Lance. Now, one thing he doesn't have that Lune has is a res. So that's also a reason why Lune can be very good, especially in the early game when we don't have too many reviving tints. But Monoco's damage is very good. In Act 2, he fucking destroys. Now, a couple of cons with Monoco is that his weapon selection is a lot smaller than other party members. Since you get him very late, very, very late, because technically Verso is the same weapons as Gustave, so you get him very early. And the party member before Monoco, well, the new array of weapons before Monoco is Sciel, which is quite early in Act 1. So you unlock Monoco weapons very late in the game, which means there's only a couple of them. Like, for example, the weapon selection for Verso is like double the amount than the ones from Monoco. His best damaging move has a lot lower numbers than Maelle or Verso, which are other DPS. Even Lune with Elemental Genesis can do kind of better damage than Monoco. But with a cultist build, he can reach numbers that are very high. So he's far from bad. Monoco is very good, but I will have to put him in the B tier. He's a lot better than Gustave, but spoiler alert, one of these party members goes into A tier, and the reason why I put him in B tier is because he's not quite there, but he's still very good. Also, you do have to go out of your way to get every single ability, which kind of knocks him down a few ranks in my head. So this Look, this one is a very, very hard character to rank. I had a lot of trouble with Monoco, but I did experiment with him a lot, and I don't think he's better than the other party members on this list. I think he's only better than Gustave, in my opinion. In my opinion. Again, if you disagree with me, I feel free to comment. I will discuss and defend my rankings with y'all in the comments. And you know what? Maybe I change opinions. I've changed opinions in the past with previous tier lists. Some people made me change my mind. Shout out to the Mage in Dragon Quest 3. But yeah, let's go to the next party member. Now let's talk about Verso, our boy Verso. Verso is quite easy to use, and the reason why Verso is as high as, I'll just tell you right now, in my opinion, he's A tier. And the reason why he's that high is mainly because of his weapon selection. There's even an argument for him being in the low S tier, but then if he's in the low S tier, then there's no reason for the A tier to even exist, right? So let's just think he's an A very close to S, okay? So the main thing that makes him very, very strong is his weapon selection. He has like 2 or 3 weapons that are very, very, very good. Now, I'm not going to talk about them like in detail, but for example, there's a weapon we all use in Act 2, which is Dualiso. Gives him like, he's basically the first party member who gets a very consistent way of acting twice. Now, yes, there's the Maelle skill that like makes her act twice if the enemy is defenseless, but that has conditions. This guy just basic attacks, that's not time. So if you do a basic attack build on Verso, which there are many good pictos for, by the way, for the basic attack build, he acts twice. Acting twice is very good because he can heal with a tint on the second turn, or give someone AP, or just attack again, which means he does double damage. So yeah, Dualiso, very good weapon. And in Act 3, or in the late game, when you get Cheater, which means this weapon kind of falls off because you can't act 3 times, you can use a weapon that allows you to put like 100 burn stacks per turn, which is crazy. So yeah, his weapon selection is very good. His damage boosting mechanic, which is the grades, are very easy to use, which means he's a very, very good DPS. Now, he does fall short of the best DPS, which we will talk about later, but those are the reasons why for me he's A tier. He is just a very, very solid character. He does more consistent damage than Monoco. His supportive capabilities are way lower than Lune and Sciel, but he has supportive capabilities. With his basic attack build, he can put burn, and he can put defenseless to make your DPS do more damage. There's also the thing where he gives the damage boosting, the damage boosting of his grades things. He can share it with other party members. He can give AP. He can do a lot of stuff. Very, very good support / DPS. That's why he's A tier. He's just the GOAT. Honestly, there's no reason for you to not play Verso. The ideal party member for me is Maelle, Verso, plus one of these two as supports. That's for me. That's the ideal party member. That's the ideal party. Let me know in the chat what you think is the best party in the game. But that's my opinion. So yeah, let's get to our next and last party member or members, because you'll see down there I divided them in 2. So why did I divide Maelle in 2 party members? It's kind of, I know it's weird because no one really does that, but that's because Real Maelle, which is, the name of this character, they call her Real Maelle, the value she gets from getting those 3 abilities, or especially Stand Hall and Burning Canvas, is so high. I mean, even the AoE one is crazy. What was something stars? I remember. The value she gets is so crazy that I was like, you know what? They're not even the same party member anymore. I mean, even in the lore, she's not really the same because she regains her memories, and memories kind of make who you are. So if she has double memories, she's kind of a different person. So Maelle, very simple. I think she's A tier. She's the best party member in Act 1 by far. Very, very high damage. In Act 2, very close with Verso. I think they're both like the best party members in Act 2. Very, very, very strong. She's just like in Act 1, she can hit the damage cap so fucking fast. In Act 2, I would say she falls off a little bit because she doesn't have as many multi-hit moves. No, she does have some, which are very good, which is why she still consistently goes A tier. I think still consistently A tier. I think she is a better than Verso. So I'm gonna put Verso. Debatable, because it's Maelle. We're not counting real Maelle, so it's debatable. I'm gonna put Verso ahead, but she in Act 1 she dominates. Everyone knows that. Now the real Maelle, by I mean like I was about to say the real Maelle we want to talk about, but she's literally called real Maelle, is the Maelle with Stenhall. Now I know what you're gonna say. Stenhall did get nerfed. But even after the nerf, it's disgusting. You can reach crazy amount of numbers. And for that reason alone, I will put her at the top of S tier. If you're not playing Maelle, you're playing on hard mode, which is respectable. You know, you want to give yourself a challenge, not click Stenhall, not click Burning Canvas. But we heard, I talked about the burn build earlier, which is very, very easy to do. Also, Maelle's best weapon is Medallum, which also kind of scales with burn. Like it has well, it doesn't scale, it synergizes with burn because of the level 10 to 20 effects. So, and the fact that she has burning canvas, which does extreme amount of damage when you stack like 200 stacks of burn. I'll probably make a video about that build, but it's very disgusting, very nasty, very good build. Now, so yeah, that's it for real Maelle. I don't want to make this video too long, but I think everyone knows why Maelle is kind of the top dog. Real Maelle does too much damage. I feel like she trivializes so many fights that like it's kind of unfair to not put her at the top of S tier. You literally just give her every picto that like gives a damage boost, and you just click Stenhall. Second turn you can click Burning Canvas with like if you have like more than 100 burn stacks on the boss, you're doing same amount of damage. I mean, I don't know who thought of like plus 200% damage, but it's just ridiculous. You don't do double damage, you technically do triple. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but like it says plus 50% on the offensive stance, which means you do a total of 150, right? But then in Virtuoso it says plus 200, so that's triple damage, right? Yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure it is. But even if it isn't, her numbers are disgusting, and that's why she's the #1 top S tier. Let me know what you think about my tier list. I did a lot of research for this tier list. I tried to be as fair as possible. I changed opinions many times, especially regarding Sciel and Monoco, but that's the result I came up with. Let me know if you disagree. Feel free to disagree and argue with me in the comments. I'll appreciate that. It's good for the algorithm, baby. So hey, go ahead. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was Aquano. Like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.